'cause I keep giving bad people good ideas.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is a little face cam or webcam kind of video. I was gonna record this on my main camera, but for whatever reason, after like 30 minutes or 20 minutes of recording, it just took a shit on itself and just stopped recording. And then also on top of that, it corrupted the file. So to avoid that shit, we're just gonna use the webcam. It's not too bad. It can still shoot in HD 1080p, but it is still a little bit lower quality. And I know I got laundry in the back, but it's fucking annoying. I've contacted the realtor company that I rent this apartment from. I've contacted the laundry company themselves to come and fix the laundry machine. Have they fixed it? No, but at least the dryer works. But I have to like hand wash all that shit. Kind of a pain in the ass when you're working at 40 hours a week and you actually kind of still want to have a bit of a life. But also on top of that, I have a whole bunch of clothes. So it's kind of like, I can kind of gamble it a little and just kind of, I don't let it get too out of control, but I can kind of like be like, okay, I can kind of get a little pile going and not run out of clothes. But again, I don't want it getting too bad where it's like I'm living in a pile of dirty clothes. But again, with the title of today's video, I'm not like a professional, or I claim that I'm 100% right with what I'm talking about in today's video. It's more like things that have helped me, connections I have made with things I've seen or I've experienced. And again, I'm not trying to make this like feel bad for me kind of video or corny ass like video or just anything. It's just real shit at the end of the day. But at the end of the day too, you got to realize I'm just some dumb motherfucker talking to a webcam on the internet. So again, 100% of what I say might not help you. 100% of what I say might not be correct, or it might not be the best or whatever. But it's just shit I've experienced, I've seen, and some of the shit that I do talk about is shit that's possibly helped me or realizations that I've made. Hopefully I'm not drinking a whole bunch of water throughout this whole video. I'm taking a whole bunch of water breaks or whatever the fuck. But in this video, I will be going pretty much over like personal struggles and also kind of dealing with other people's struggles as well. And kind of more on the mental side of shit. And I feel like the biggest thing about mental health is like balance. And I say that in like a lot of like previous videos kind of talking about this kind of stuff. I'm gonna actually take out this Zen. I think it's kind of at the end of its days. But yeah, I know I've said this a lot in like a lot of previous videos and stuff. And I feel like with anything in life, even not just mental health, if that's like physical health, whatever the fuck, if that's work or school, whatever, everything has a balance. And if you kind of fuck up that balance, it's gonna upset you. Sometimes you do have to just suck it up. It's just gonna be unbalanced and you gotta just deal with it. But overall, if you can try balance shit out the best you can, then you are gonna enjoy shit the best. And I feel like it's very, very important with mental health, and not a lot of people realize that sometimes. And they'll just kind of like, it's good to push yourself, but they'll just keep on pushing themselves and thinking, oh, once I get this goal, I'm gonna be happy, and then achieve the goal and they're not happy. And it's like, because you just kept pushing and pushing yourself, and there's like a point where it's like, you do want to push yourself, you do want to achieve your shit, you do want to kind of, I don't know, just, yeah, push yourself and just kind of achieve goals you got in life, but also at the same time, like, it's weird how to explain it. Life is a bit of a race, but in the sense of it being a race, it's not really a race. It's kind of like your own paced race, if that makes sense. Like, you shouldn't really try, like, people say this a lot of the time, you just shouldn't try to compare yourself to other people, and that's very important. But even with that, you shouldn't try, like, compare, oh, well, this person did this when they were my age, and I can't do it. And it's kind of more in the sense of, like, you're on your own paced race. You could go slow in this, you could go fast, and I feel like it's really good to have a combination of the two. You don't want to speed through life, but you don't want to be slow about shit and just be like not achieving shit, be late to the party with certain things, and just not be kind of short-handed with things, you know? But then also, like I said, you don't want to just race through everything. And I feel like it's very important to find a good balance of like racing through shit and try and get all the shit you want done, but then also a good moment to sit back, relax, kind of be like, okay, what I have done so far is good, you know? And just kind of, yeah, just take things slow sometimes and shit. And it's kind of hard with like how life is nowadays. And I feel like as time continues, it's gonna get worse and worse. Where things that are popular on the internet, popular clothes, popular foods, whatever the fuck, are just gonna like trends and shit are just gonna go by quicker and quicker and quicker. And sometimes it's kind of hard to kind of find a balance within that if like everything's always changing 24/7. But also, it's like a good example is like ice cream's good, but having too much ice cream's bad because you lose interest in ice cream. You lose the hype of having ice cream. You kind of ice cream become mundane, kind of bland. Also, like, you know, if you eat too much ice cream, it's physically not good for you, and it's not mentally good for you either. And this kind of follows with anything in life. If you do too many drugs, eat too much food, endure too much in like sexual shit, or you endure too much in gambling, endure too much in trying to get money, or whatever the fuck. But also, having no ice cream fucking sucks, you know? Yeah, never having ice cream, never tasting it, not having ice cream on a hot summer day, it fucking sucks. And, like, you know, with having things, like, not just ice cream, like, that's like anything in life, having a lack of enjoyment and a lack of freedom does make life feel unfulfilling, you know, obviously. So it's like you do want to find that good balance in enjoyment and freedom, but also you don't want to indulge too much in it, or else you're not going to get shit done, and you're going to be like, oh, why I'm so depressed and I have nothing at the age of 40, and you indulge too much in enjoyment and freedom to now you're going to have to pay for it now, you know. So I do feel like there's a balance to it. Well, sometimes you do got to pay up the price to have that freedom and that enjoyment and shit with life. And yeah, no, it's like it's kind of weird. It's like it's good to spot and like stop and kind of smell the roses and kind of, you know, just enjoy the roses, kind of smell them. But if you like just sit there all day smelling the roses, just always around the roses, those bees have to pollinate the roses, so you're probably gonna get stung by bees. So it's really good to just stop, smell the roses, and then keep walking. Or else if you stick around too long, the bees could think you're a fucking thread, then you get your ass stung. And that could possibly be an actual thing, but more metaphorically, you get it. Like, you just sit there, don't do anything with your life for too long, you're gonna get stung in the ass. But if you do push yourself too much, you're gonna sting your own self in the ass. So it's a good balance, or good to find a good balance where you're kind of pushing yourself, not to the point of stinging your own ass, but then you're also pushing yourself enough to where you don't get your ass stung by someone else. And I feel like most people already kind of know this, but it's good to find like a right balance in work and enjoyment, like I was saying, and find the right balance in moving up in life and not being like a corporate slave to like some job. And I feel like this other point that I do talk about is really important as well. But with that is, I'm not saying it's bad to be heavily invested in work or like a certain craft or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But like again, some people do enjoy working more than others, and realistically, some jobs are easier than others. And with that, I feel like it's important to overlook money sometimes in a career and more solely analyze what you're doing in that career as, you know, day to day. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy freedom. So again, you do want to make enough money where you can support yourself, make a little extra money to save, invest, or, you know, go on trips and shit, buy yourself cool shit. But, I do think it's important to, you know, at the same time, stop and think about what you're going to have to do day to day. Like, again, it'd be cool to make, like, $2 million, but if you got to jump into the world's grossest sewer that's filled with Ebola, COVID, AIDS, fucking malaria and you have like some protection, but again, at the end of the day, you can catch these diseases. Yeah, like, it's cool you can make $2 million, but then, is it worth it? Are you gonna be happy doing that? As, like, maybe working a job where you make $200,000 a year, but it's something you enjoy, actually, you know? So, finding a right balance in that, like, obviously, you do want to find a job where you can support yourself, save money, invest money, go on trips and shit. But I do feel like at the end of the day, money isn't everything. It's good to solely more look into the side of things of work and then focus on money. Like, again, you don't want to get stuck in some dead-end job. Some people do enjoy those kind of jobs, can kind of work their way up in those kind of jobs a bit. But a lot of jobs sometimes are dead-end, and you don't want to get stuck in those. And I feel like it's good to kind of, solely try to look into the work side of things and be like, I have like kind of 3 things that you should ask yourself. It's like, do I enjoy doing this? Am I proud of this? And is it dead end? Sometimes people enjoy a bit dead end jobs. They're like, oh, okay, I like working or like Five Guys, or I like working at McDonald's, whatever the fuck. And that pays their bills, that floats their boat, whatever the fuck. But then there are some people that want a bit more. And I feel like that third question's kind of like depends on your perception and kind of your preferences on things. But if you could answer these questions like, yeah, I do enjoy this. Yes, I am proud of this. Yes, this isn't, or like, no, this isn't a dead end job. Then, and you gotta be realistic and truthful with yourself. But if you can't answer these questions, and you do enjoy it and you are proud of it and it's not a dead-end job, then that's the job for you. Even if you might make a little bit less money, at least you can maybe work up, make some more money down the road, or at least you enjoy it at the end of the day. It's like the money, I feel like at the end of the day, the money is going to make itself and it's going to be easier to make if you enjoy what you're doing than if you don't like what you're doing. It's going to be harder to make the money, even if you're making more money, and it's going to be, like, feel slower and shittier, as if you do enjoy what you're doing, the money is going to feel like it's coming in quicker, easier, and shit like that, and even if you're making a little less. Money is important, but again, like I said, it's good to focus, like, again, you got enough to support yourself in the future, but with the career you're picking, extra money will come, and like money will always come, like comes and goes. Like, money is not a forever thing. You can't really take that to the grave, but you can kind of take memories to the grave, or you could hold on to memories longer than you can hold on to money and shit like that. Then like best advices I got is like focus on like making sure, like, again, like, you like what you're doing and the money will kind of generate itself. High-paying jobs don't always mean no good jobs, really. Sometimes they are just paying you a lot of money just because no one else wants to do it. No one wants to jump down the little pipe full of STDs and viruses. So they'll pay some dumbass a whole bunch of money and, like, okay, well, you might be the one that gets AIDS or some shit, but we'll pay you a whole bunch of money for it. But again, some people are kind of down to bite that bullet, but majority of people normally aren't. Goddamn, I can feel my nose getting all stuffy, and I'm like, please, I hope I don't just start sneezing and dying. I might go blow my nose real quick. I might be back. Okay, I think I'm good. I went blow my nose. I grabbed some extra tissue just in case. I just hate it because it always happens every time I'm like recording some shit. But yeah, no, best advice I pretty much got is like, again, focus on making sure you enjoy what you're doing, because again, the money will generate itself. You can hold on to memories longer than money, and again, like, again, it's like high-paying jobs don't always mean they'll just good paying job, like, they're good jobs. Just because it's good paying doesn't mean it's a good job. And it's like, life is 100% based on preferences and judgment. A lot of people try to say, oh, I'm a judge-free person. Oh, I don't judge anyone. Those judgment no matter what to some degree, if that's not like, oh, like, society nowadays, at least in America, we don't judge people based on race as much as, you know, people would probably 50 years ago. Well, a little bit less judgmental on that kind of shit. There's more freedoms towards that kind of shit, which I'm glad, you know? But again, everyone's always going to have their judgments if that's how somebody's upbringing was, what somebody did, what somebody said, how somebody acts, how somebody does something, how a group of people do shit. It's always gonna happen. Everyone's gonna have preferences. Like, people like turkey on Thanksgiving, some people like prime rib, some people like ham. And again, it's just, what I'm saying is life is 100% based on preferences and judgments. And with that is okay, I got most of that crap out of my nose, hopefully. I don't do drugs, it's just snot. I have really bad cat allergies. But I pretty much use judgment loosely, more in the sense of like favorite foods, kind of cultural upbringing, thoughts, and different beliefs, as we have our own preferences and judgments, like I said. And I feel like with that, don't like, it's good to take notes from people. Sometimes people do have good things to say and can benefit you. But again, don't live just in somebody else's eyes of, like, the eyes of judgment or preferences. You have your own judgments, you have your own preferences. Do what you want to do to make you happy, as long as it's not harming other people. Fuck it. You know, if you're not fucking with other people, it makes you happy, go do it. Go enjoy yourself. And again, like I said, as long as it doesn't harm other people, just, you know, fuck everything fuck everything else up for everyone else. You know, as long as it doesn't fuck shit up, everyone's happy, doesn't fuck with people, who cares? Enjoy yourself. Like, again, like, a lot of people will say, oh, I only eat chicken, I never eat beef because beef's bad for you. Well, yeah, chicken's maybe a little healthier than beef. You probably don't want to eat hamburgers every day. But if you enjoy beef more than chicken, go ahead, eat some beef instead of chicken. Like, who the fuck cares, you know what I'm saying? Kind of that type of shit. And it goes deeper into other things and stuff like that, like if that's religious beliefs or whatever. Luckily in America, it's a pretty free country when it comes down to that. We are pretty fortunate for that. And again, I feel like life does come with you sacrificing shit, not in the literal sense of sacrificing your soul, but you gotta sacrifice your time and money at some time. If that's when you're young or when you're old, you're gonna have to sacrifice your time. And that's back into the whole enjoyment and freedom type of thing. You could have all the enjoyment and all the freedom while you're young, and then have none when you're old, or kind of have a little bit of freedom and enjoyment while you're young, and have a little bit while you're old as well, and kind of have a good balance of it. Or you could have no freedom and no enjoyment while you're young, and have all of it while you're old. So it's really how you play the game at the end of the day, too. I feel like the second option is the best. Have a little bit while you're young, and have a little bit while you're old. Enjoy it. But again, life does come to a point where you do have to sacrifice your time or money to kind of get that level up in life and kind of move up. God damn, my nose is so fucking... I feel like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, constantly, like, once I, like, in about, like, 30 seconds after blowing my nose, there's gonna be more snot that got blown out of my nose. And indulge and fuel your hobbies as much as you can. And, like, with that, try and, find healthy and beneficial hobbies. Like, that's obviously kind of common sense. But, like, yeah, find something that's gonna help you move up in life and just kind of enjoy life more in, like, the sense of shit. I gotta move my camera down a little bit, but, yeah, and do not run from your problems, face them. Don't play victim 24/7. Again, I'm not saying, like, playing the victim card is bad. Sometimes people do fall victim into shit. You get in an accident because a drunk driver hits you. You get stabbed by someone. You get shot by someone. You are a victim to that shit. And that's not bad to be like, hey, I'm a victim of this shit. But again, if you're still, like, PTSD, things like that are kind of a bit different. But if you're like, oh, this guy punched me in the face 10 years ago, and you're still like, oh, I can't go outside, or I, like, blah, 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 this, it's still, like, haunting you, fucking with you, whatever, then it's like, bro, you can't keep playing victim into that shit. At some point, you're gonna have to kind of move on. Things like war, things like PTSD, actual crazy shit, like, again, everyone's story is different, so I'm not trying to say, oh, like this is like the way and just get over those problems. Like, again, people going to war, people facing crazy shit, people having crazy shit done to them and having PTSD from those things. That's a different story. But I'm talking more in the sense of like people try and be like, well, my grandma was, or my great grandma was a slave. And it's like, are you a slave now? Was your mom a slave? Was your grandma a slave? Were you a slave? Like, you know, shit like that. And I'm not saying like, oh, just shit on them. But again, we've changed as a society. Those are no longer things that people can play really victim into, because majority of people that were once slaves are already dead. And I'm not trying to say like, or defend America when that kind of shit. Like, that's fucked up shit. We shouldn't have ever done that. But, or we like, again, never should have done that. But, again, like, it just, you can't really play victim into that. It's was in the past. Everyone moved on from it. And it's like, I'm not trying to say, oh, fuck Jewish people when I say this, but it's almost kind of similar shit with the Holocaust. Again, I'm not saying, oh, Jewish people should just forget about it or not feel sorry for the people that were affected by that, or we shouldn't. But I'm just saying, like, we should acknowledge that happened. We should acknowledge it was fucked up, but we shouldn't just be like, oh, yeah, you did something fucked up. Oh, yeah, you went and killed all these people because they did this to you. Okay, that's fine. Like, you know, at some point you gotta just move on from shit. Realize that was in the past. Realize that shit was fucked up. Maybe get your revenge in the moment, but move on from it. You know, you can't just 100 years down the road still be try and fuck with people, even though that happens anyways. But again, I'm not trying to get killed, or I'm not trying to, like, get my shit shut down, or try and say anything too controversial. But you kind of get what I'm saying at the end of the day. At some point, kind of got to move on from shit. But again, depends on the situation, depends on how crazy shit is, or, like, whatever, you know. Pretty much what I said kind of depends on the situation. But yeah, look for, this kind of ties into what else I was gonna say, is like, look for, like, mental patterns, not problems, but mental patterns, if that's healthy or unhealthy ones, and try to pick out the unhealthy ones and work on those, because breaking them down and overcoming the bad mental patterns will lead to healthier ones, and you will kind of connect your already healthy mental patterns with these new healthier ones, and it will just kind of continue making new healthy connections. And yeah, you're gonna bump into unhealthy ones, and you kind of just gotta walk those out, analyze them, see what's wrong, fix them, and keep it going. And yeah, try not dwell on the future, and with not dwelling on the future, don't dwell on the past. You can't change the past. The past is the past. It is what it is. And also with the future, you can't really change the future too much. You can prepare, and you can plan for it. And that's the only way you can really change the future, I guess. But pretty much just plan and prepare for it, and that's the best you can do. And that's usually what I do, and that kind of is the best to kind of help that anxious thought in your head of like, oh, what the fuck am I going to do in the future? As long as you plan and prepare for it, then at least you did something, and I feel like that's the best way to kind of ease your mind with things, because at least then you have a plan, and have a plan A, have a plan B, and you can kind of have more reassurance that, okay, I kind of have an idea how my future is going to look. Always remember where you started and came from, if that's, like, just in life, where you were born, your ancestry, and shit like that. Those kind of things are really important, obviously, kind of common sense things. But I feel like that really does explain someone as a person and why they do shit the way they do shit. And then this is kind of the last thing. When I say this, I'm not saying, oh, these things are bad. It's really down to the thing I said earlier. Life's all about preferences and judgment and shit. And SSRIs, medications, and therapy kind of fall into that. And I'm saying, like, they can help, but they're not a cure. It's still, like, up to the person, and it's still up to you to put the pieces together. And some people, like me, don't find therapy helpful, or SSRIs SSRIs or most medications. But again, that leads to using other vices. If that's like going to the gym, if that's going out, going on hikes, whatever. My main vice is usually all like just smoking a little bit of weed. Instead of maybe going to therapy, trying to reach out to like a close friend, I don't try to go to them and be like, oh, my life was so terrible, fix all my problems. But I'll be like, yeah, I had to deal with this dumb bitch today. I might vent to them a little bit. I realize that's helped me a bit. And again, I don't try to throw my problems on them, because their problems are not, my problems are not their problems. So I try not to throw my problems on, their shit, because they already got their own shit to deal with. But I do vent to them. Sometimes I do kind of see talking with them does help, if that's like just getting my mind off the situation itself, or just kind of venting about it. And with helping others, it's good to reach out and try to help where you can, but it's not good to just drown with them. At some point you do kind of have to step back and realize they gotta kind of dig themselves out as well. I've learned that personally, like with my brother and shit. Sadly, he took his life back in like 2023. Don't talk about it too much on the channel and shit, and it's not really like in the sense of, oh, it's so personal, I can't talk about it. I feel like talking about it does help, but there's not really a lot of areas I feel like I could just be like, blah, 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 and talk about it, or without people being like, what the fuck, or, having it kind of come off a little weird. But that's why I like making videos like this and stuff. But, that's what I've realized. It's good to reach out. It's good to try to help where you can, but it isn't good to drown in their problems as well. And, or else you're gonna drown in their problems. And with drowning in their problems, you're gonna drown in your own problems. And now you're drowning in two sets of problems. And, at the end of the day, it's kind of like the whole sense of like, it's like the dumb old sayings of like, oh, you could take a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink the water. So it's like you could help the person, get them to water. You could get them, like, you could help them get some carrots and shit, but they lose interest in wanting the carrot, they lose interest wanting to drink the water, and they kind of starve themselves, and they kind of die out. There's not a lot you can do. You can't just shove carrots down their throat, or else they're gonna suffocate, die. You can't just fucking throw water down their throat, or else you're gonna waterboard them. So at the end of the day, it's really them to put the pieces together. Life's like a puzzle. You could help them collect all the pieces they need, but it's up to them to put the pieces together. If they don't put the pieces together, it's just a sad reality. But a lot of the time, people are able to put the pieces together and kind of go on with life and move on to the next puzzle that life presents them. But, yeah, like at the end of the day, you could help them with the puzzle, you could help them get the pieces, you could tell them, like, this piece connects with this piece, but you can't connect the pieces for them, if that makes sense. And it's also good to try and remember, and, it's a shitty thing about life, but you can't save everyone, sadly, but you can help them, and at the end of the day, it is good to, kind of just, reach out where you can and help where you can. And it's up to them to kind of pull themselves out and kind of keep going and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, like, I feel like that's what I've learned over the past couple years is, like, I don't hold a lot of guilt because, again, me and my brother did have a pretty good relationship. When he did do what he did, we were on pretty good terms and shit. We were never on bad terms. I never had any crazy, like, arguments. And we always had pretty close, like, conversations. We always respected each other highly and shit. And all of that's kind of a video for itself, I could talk about it forever. And at the end of the day, I don't hold any guilt on what happened. I do feel like, oh yeah, maybe if I did this different, or this didn't happen, or this was different, or this happened a couple years ago instead, this wouldn't happen. But then if you think about it, though, let's say you're in a situation where, like, you have a friend that died, if that's like in a motorcycle accident, they took their life or whatever, and you moved away from your hometown, and they stayed in the hometown, and you think, oh, if I stayed in that hometown, things would have been different. But you never know. If you stayed in that hometown for one more week longer, you could have died by some crazy gunman, by some crazy drunk driver, or whatever the fuck. In the sense of, with me saying that, I feel like everything happens for a reason. And I feel like wishing and going back and dwelling on the past and thinking, oh, if I did this thing different, it's not really too good to be like that. If you're going to look at anything in the past, it's good to take notes and be like, oh, this is where things got fucked up. This is what I got to avoid in the future. Or this is where I got to kind of like look into or pay attention to. But besides that, it's not good to dwell on the past, obviously, and shit. And like I said, luckily I had a pretty good relationship with my brother, so I don't hold a lot of guilt. But again, it does suck what happened, and again, I do wish he was around. I do wish that never happened, obviously. But I don't feel like, oh, it's my fault, or like, oh, like, fuck, blah, blah, blah. Like, again, I know we had a pretty good relationship at the end of the day. I do kind of feel like maybe if I did maybe a couple other things differently, hopefully maybe that would have happened. But I do feel like even if I did do those things, like stayed up till like 5 a.m. talking with him, that even then I would have, like, it would have happened. It's almost like a prolonged unit sometimes. And it's like then what's going to happen is going to happen no matter what. But again, that's like the weird thing with suicide. You never know. Life's all about putting puzzles together. Sometimes people are going to keep wanting to put the puzzle together. Sometimes people just simply need help getting the pieces, or kind of will the pieces connect, and then they kind of keep on going. Or sometimes people just say fucking throw all the pieces and just kind of give up. And there's nothing you can, there's some things you can do, but there's like, it's not really up to you, it's up to them to kind of put the puzzle together. But besides that, hope you guys enjoyed today's little ramble of the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe. We're almost at 400 subscribers. That'd be fucking awesome to hit 400 subscribers. But thank you guys for all the support recently on the channel. And yeah, see you guys all in the next video. Comment down below what you guys think, things that help you guys. And sorry, I have all this, like, I ate earlier, so I have all this, like, gas in my body. I want to burp, but I can't burp. But, yeah, no, I just want to pretty much just say thank you for that. And yeah, guys, comment down below what you guys think, things that help you guys. And yeah, see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys.